Okay, so you actually spoke on prison actually being like a very, very probably the most significant thing to happen in your life, of course, next to your children. But I would say it's the most significant thing to happen based on my research because you said that's where you actually found music, your love for music.
Yeah.
And that's very substantial, you know, that's very substantial to your life. So how did that go? Like how did that process go?
How that went, this was during the time I was in the hole for like 3 months.
Oh yeah.
So
I knew
when you in there, it's like you gotta do something to not drive yourself crazy.
Right.
So it led to me just rapping, you know what I mean? Just freestyling. But when I would freestyle, it was just like I'm just saying something and being belligerent just because they want you to be quiet. So you just talking, yelling, screaming, hitting shit, just doing anything to make noise to keep your sanity from you sitting in there having to talk to yourself. Because that's the only other thing to do is to sit there and talk to yourself. So that kind of led into me freestyling. And then there was a guy, which his name is Trip. He actually out now too. And I just talked to him probably about a month or so ago. And he was like, man, I can't believe you really did this. And he is one of the reasons why I'm really rapping. Because he like, you saying some sweet shit. Like, you going crazy. You freestyling really good now. Because I'm doing it every day, all day. He like, you doing this really good. He like, you should write it down sometimes. And I'm like, okay. And the first thing that I wrote down, I couldn't read it back to myself. Because at this time, I'm not even knowing I can't read as well as I thought I could. So I couldn't even read for real. So we go and get a test and they said I was reading at like a 4th grade level. So when it was time for me to rehearse my raps back to myself, I couldn't really read them back to myself because I couldn't really read. So it would take me 2-3 days to even rehearse what I just wrote down. So it was like, if I'm gonna learn how to do this, then I could take it to another level. And he like, yeah, bro, if you keep writing just some of the stuff you rapping, you gonna be cold with it because you can write because you have good wordplay. And that's all he was talking about, man. You got good wordplay. You just can't regurgitate it because you forget it because you just going day after day just talking. And that led me to being like, all right, let me write this down and let me try to figure this out and start lyrics. So by the time I got out, I probably had like 5 books of just lyrics, like just written lyrics.
What year in did you start writing?
This was probably after about 14, 15 months in.
Okay. So
I started
like
writing.
Have to be pretty much halfway through.
I started writing because it was like, it didn't make no sense not to, because I was like, I need to transition to something. What do I come back from what lifestyle I was living to doing? I couldn't think of none other than a rapper. It was like, what was I emulating when I sat down and thought about everything, and when I would get pictures sent to me, and when I would get everything that I was doing, and it was like, everybody would be like, you look like you living like a rapper. And it was like, this is what I could do. This is what I like to do. And I'm good at talking and I'm good at writing. So let me take this and turn this into a passion. And because you do something for 3 years over and over and over, it's kind of hard to say that's not your passion. You start to love it because it's like, okay, you getting better at it. You know what I mean? At first, people are like, nah, you can't really do that. But you like start feeling like, nah, I could do anything because all I got to do is keep writing. So that led me to writing a bunch of lyrics. Then that led me to writing a book. And then that led me to writing my autobiography.
Okay, and you wrote all of that in prison?
Yeah, all of that in prison.
All right, so did you already know, like, did you already have, like, plans of, like, did you have your name and all of that before you came home? Is this everything that you manifested, like, while in prison? Or
yeah.
So you had like the whole plan, everything before you got released.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of that, like, I made a vision board.
Right.
What I was gonna do, how I was gonna do it, why I was gonna do it, what steps I was gonna take to get there, what moves I was gonna make to get there. Like, I made a whole deliberate plan. Like, this is what you getting out to do, and this is what you gonna do, and this is how you gonna get it done, and you ain't gonna stop until you get it done. And it's like that one part of me making that plan just led to me sticking to it and being like, if I don't do nothing else, I'ma just fall back to this same thing because this is the only thing I said I was gonna do. So even if I ain't got no money, if I fall back to this, I'm still happy because that's my most happiest times when I was in prison, was when I was writing, when I was going into that bag of being like, I'm gonna be a rapper. I'm watching BET, 106 in Parker, whatever we was watching during the time and being like, I'm gonna be on there one day. Niggas like, bro, you is not about to be on there. I'm like, yes, I am. They like, how is you gonna be on there? I'm like, cause I'm gonna keep doing this. You got people in there that could really rap. That's like, nah, you not really gonna do that. Like, you don't really got the skills to do it. But it was because I had to keep practicing and keep practicing and keep delivering and keep delivering. They just didn't understand how hungry I was for it, that I was gonna make it happen, and that's kind of where you get me at today.
Right. And what's funny, man, is I'm gonna make the like kind of like the I'm gonna tell you how it's similar, but it's like, all right, if you look at Giannis Antetokounmpo, people who don't know, he just started playing basketball in like 2014, 2013. Like, it's the first time he ever played basketball. Now he's a world champion. Same thing, we kind of like put you in the sport of rap music. Most people start rapping when they like 8 years old, 9 years old. Like, that's when they write their first rap. And they might like hit the studio for the first time when they become teenagers. They become old enough to, be on their own and do what they want to do. You didn't start rapping until like you was a grown man. Like, you really like learning how to rap like as a grown man. Like, you coming into this new and you like kind of pass people up faster. Like, do you feel like because it was because of your preparation?
Yeah, it was most definitely because of that. Because the drive that I had was completely different than a kid who feels like he has a lot of time. So when somebody feel like they got a lot of time to do something, they'll procrastinate stuff so much longer than I ever felt like I could procrastinate. When it came down to it, it was like, when are you going to get to this goal? When I set goal markers, I set myself to a time limit, and I had to get it in a certain amount of time, or that time would have had came and passed, and then I had to move on to the next phase so that I can complete the plan. When you talking about as a kid or as somebody, they still trying to learn what they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it, why they want to do it. They got too many different things, and then they got too many different decisions that it could be like, I don't really got to be a rapper, I could be a truck driver. I don't really got to be a truck driver, I could be a scientist. I don't really got to be a scientist, I could be a basketball player. You got too many options open, so you not going to put as much time into the music unless somebody's literally over you at every given moment, coaching you and guiding you to pressing you to making you into this artist that they want you to be. That's usually what's happening with a younger artist. Somebody's making that artist into what they want them to be because they like, this kid got talent.
But you got to cultivate yourself.
But I had to be like, I have the talent. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to be known for. Ain't nobody going to know me for nothing else, and I won't let nobody know me for nothing else because I'm going to show them day in and day out, no matter what I do, that I can do this. And because I was older, it was like, how much time do you really got? And even me being my age today is like, dang, you late in the game, but I'm early compared to how long people been in the game, and I bypassed so many people that's been doing it for so long because they're off and on, they wishy-washy, they still debating, this is cool today, it's not cool tomorrow, this, I want the money today, I want the money tomorrow. They didn't have no business behind them, they ain't had no work ethic behind them, they ain't had no responsibility behind them. It's too many factors that they come up with that I had to focus in on, and that's why I was able to really double down and make it happen like this.